is that we're actively working on a major rework of the Raccoon City Police Department map that we released last year.
Bingo! We're gonna play bingo with the Dead by Daylight stream. Reduce the grind. Fog Whisperer compilation. MMR should be, that's a different path. Soon! New stats. RCPD rework. Dead Hard rework. Blood Point code. Okay. We have 10 minutes, guys. We gotta think fast, alright? BT base. New Crown Cosmetic. We have 9 minutes, my dudes. Resident Evil Part 2. Dredge is real. Hugtech. David. TQ. I can't fit it here. The Survivor solo buff. New Trapper Mori. Bots. UI changes. Raise BP cap. Anniversary event. They're definitely going to talk about cross progression. Dating sim. Okay, fine. I want to put something interesting. What's Funko Pop? Oh, Funko Pops. This is everything that the community basically wants. I'm a BHVR employee. It's so much stuff the community wants me to do. It's bingo time. Oh. Crow lady, zombie. You've seen this, yeah. This is all the trailers. Everything I've done the past year. Deja vu? Yeah. Thank you for sharing the past 6 years of horror with us. Let's go. Dude, this looks like
All right, what I was trying to say before I got rudely interrupted is that Funko Pops are coming.
Oh my
this
god!
This is super exciting for us. We've
Funko
been waiting
Pops!
a long time to be able to announce this.
Oh!
So right now I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the 4 characters coming to Funko Pops.
Funko Pops!
The Wraith, the Doctor, the Huntress, and Claudette Morel. If you're like me, you're thrilled and you can't wait to get your hands on those. I can tell you, you'll be able to get those before the end of the year. Okay, now that I've shared that and that I've had a moment to calm down, let me officially welcome you to the Dead by Daylight 6th anniversary celebration. We've got an amazing show for you today. We have the whole team ready to share some of the exciting stuff coming. We've got a few surprises in store. We hope you're going to have a good time.
Okay.
Now, last year, our 5th anniversary was all about looking back at the 5 years before. It was a trip down memory lane, and I had a good time for one.
Whoa.
Since then, we've hit 50 million players in Dead by Daylight. That's crazy.
50 million.
We announced the board game that was funded in under 1 day
actually.
on Kickstarter. That was an amazing job by our friends at Level 99. We've also consistently stayed within the 20 top games streamed on Twitch. All of that, and with our next chapter, we're going to now be at 59 characters in Dead by Daylight.
That's a lot.
But today, it's not about looking back. Today is about looking at the future. We couldn't be happier to have 50 million of you out there playing the game with us. And while there's still a ton of stuff to do, we want to focus on the things that are going to make their way into the game next year. In the past, we've used these anniversaries to share our dreams and to share our ambitions. And we dreamed big. It's our job to do so. Once in a while, these dreams ended up being bigger than what we were able to deliver. And we don't want to do that today.
Where's the glasses?
Today,
I think
our
we're in
goal
context.
is to talk about what is actually going to happen within the next year and to give you precise timelines of when you can expect those changes.
That's really good. Not just soon.
We're humbled by your passion and your support. Thank you so much for taking this trip with us through the last 6 years. And we have quite a lot more for you. Oh, and if you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube, you can actually play Director of Broadcast by voting in the chat and help us figure out which segments are going to come in what order. And speaking of which, here's a list of everything that we have in store for you today.
Monk ass dude. Okay. Quality of life improvements, gameplay improvements, Chapter 24, reveal, look at the store, 6th anniversary in-game celebrations. Roadmap.
Said, we want you to be in control of what we talk about next. You know what? Let's try it right now. Which one of these would you prefer to have? A, some free stuff.
I would want B.
Something really nice.
Everyone's saying A. It's gonna be a blood point code. Everyone wants free shit? Okay. Hey! Alright, we got it. Let's go.
Thank you so much for joining us today in the celebration of Dead by Daylight's 6th anniversary. I'm Stéphane Beauchamp, Senior Producer on the project, and I'm joined by Justin Brown, Senior Product Manager on the project. In today's panel, we will have a look at the upcoming content for next year, so Dead by Daylight's 7th year, the planned chapters, as well as our 4 main pillars for the game. Before we dive into that, however, this is a really good opportunity to look at our accomplishments from last year and talk a bit more about what we're particularly proud of or excited or happy that was released over the last year. For me, I'm always extremely impressed by the quality of our original content, and the Portrait of Murder chapter was another one that really left a mark on me. But that being said, Year 6 was an amazing year when it comes to licensed content, with the addition of Resident Evil, Hellraiser chapter, as well as Ringu, 3 classic cult horror icons into our game. And it really warms my heart to see all of those different characters come together in the one and the same game. Is there anything you're particularly proud of that we did last year?
The artist is really good.
The first thing that comes to mind is the updated onboarding and tutorial. Seeing that come out to such a positive reaction within our community was really amazing, really rewarding for the team that worked so hard on those features. The next would be the 2 brand new maps we introduced last year. It had been a long time since we introduced new maps, and the team totally delivered on those maps, visually stunning. And that's not to mention the unbelievable job they did on the Haddonfield rework, which recently released.
Yeah, the Haddonfield rework was really good.
Last but not least, it would be the Snowman event.
Like that,
all of the hilarious memes, movies, memories that were shared in that sort of holiday season was unbelievably amazing, and something I hope we can recreate again this year. Now, I'd like to take this moment just to mention that when we develop our roadmap, we always aim at delivering the most quality as we possibly can for you, our players. However, as it is a live tool, we are constantly having to update it due to urgent issues or new opportunities that arise throughout the year. As such, there were a few features we mentioned during last year's anniversary stream that still have not made their way into the game. Fear not, we will be talking about most of those features later today. Now, when we talk about what's coming up in the next year, first, I'll tell you some of the things we know we can expect throughout this next year. There will be 4 new chapters, which means 4 new killers and their survivor counterparts.
He's about to talk about it.
In addition to that, there will be 4 tomes in the archives, diving deeper into our character's lore. And with the narrative direction around the Observer's Tower going in a new direction, we're all super excited to watch that unfold.
What is this all about? We'll learn more over the coming year. It's really exciting. For some of you who have been with us over the past year, the 4 pillars will probably be known to you all. They're really things we have continuously worked upon over the last 6 years of the game. So our 4 pillars composing the roadmap for this year are game health, quality of life updates, live design, as well as our events.
I like how
want to give us a bit more info
the first one they talk about.
Game health.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I will. I would love to, Stefan. When we talk about game health, there are some aspects of game health that will always be ongoing priorities for us, such as security improvements and game performance optimizations. But this year, we're putting an added focus on matchmaking. We want to improve the matchmake wait times as much as we can, in addition to accounting for the various play styles we see throughout our community and rewarding them as such. When we talk about matchmaking, though, it's also very much a quality of life topic, which segues very well into our second pillar.
It is an amazing segue, as if it was planned all along. You're a natural at that. Talking more about quality of life improvements and updates, you did talk about the roadmap and how we continuously shift things around and such. We use a lot of the feedback from the community to feed into that. And as such, CSAT surveys are a really important part for that. Forums, social networks, etc., etc.
Their marketing team's
When
been
we
putting
did
in work,
announce
my dude.
the Autoban feature during
research.
last year's anniversary, it was met with a lot of mixed feelings from the community. And as such, we really held off a bit to make sure we were doing this in the best way possible. We know toxicity as well as cheating is something that has to continuously be looked at and addressed in the game to keep the game as safe as possible. And as such, Autoban and improvements to those systems is an important part for us that we're going to keep looking at this year, but we want to make sure we do it in the best way possible. To dive a bit more into quality of life updates, we'll have Justin Banks and Aurélie Géraud talk a bit more about that in a future panel today, which I'm really looking forward to. But for now, is there anything you want to share with us about life design?
Can we get bingo? Okay,
As a live game, constant iterations in our design and live balance updates are critical to keeping the game feeling fun, fresh, and exciting for our players. In addition to that, players' behaviors are constantly evolving, and we need to adapt to accommodate those new behaviors all the time. Matt Spriggans will be up shortly to talk more about the huge updates that we have coming and planned for this year in regarding live balance.
And huge is not an understatement.
Not an understatement at all. But one piece of news we're happy to break right now is that we're actively working on a major rework of the Raccoon City Police Department map that we released last year during the Resident Evil chapter.
I've wanted this.
Expect to see that sometime this fall, but we will keep you updated as we near closer to the final release date.
I'm very much looking forward to playing it. It's often been a difficult map to navigate into play for players, and I'm really looking forward to see how it can actually be brought up to the standards that we have today.
Soon!
I'm looking for it. With that said, I'll jump into the events, something that really is an important aspect of the game. It allows us to move the game in a direction that's a little bit farther off the beaten path, something that's not necessarily what you'd expect from Dead by Daylight, but do that as a time-based thing allows us to really do something completely crazy sometimes and such. This is really an opportunity for us to get communities together and to generate moments you're never going to forget. I always think back of that game you played of Dead by Daylight during that specific moment of the year. As we've always done over the last few years, we'll have 4 main moments in the year that we're going to celebrate through events, which are going to be our anniversary period coming up in a few weeks from now, the Halloween period, the winter period, as well as the Lunar New Year period. These 4 events are really going to be the main ones for the year, but our cornerstone events are going to be Halloween and anniversary, since they're such big, important moments for the game.
Anniversary.
On top of those, we're also going to try and do more live activations, such as login bonuses, Bloodrush that you're all familiar with, and boosted Rift Fragments collection, so that there's a reason for everyone to come back to the game and be more excited about playing Dead by Daylight more often and be happy about the rewards they're getting through doing that. So, really looking forward to this year. It's really been an amazing one for us, and thank you so much, especially for the continued support throughout those 6 years. Thank you, everyone.
Not bad, not bad.
By Daylight fans, I hope you're enjoying the 6th anniversary celebration of Dead by Daylight. I'm Matthias Claesen, I'm the director of the Recreational Fear Lab, and I'm here to talk to you about why people enjoy horror. Now, it might seem weird that folks like us voluntarily seek out frightening entertainment, but it's actually very common and for good scientific reason. It is part of human nature to find pleasure in playing with fear.
He's a professor.
It's what kids do when they play hide and seek, and it's what we do when we play DBD. When you're playing as a survivor, you're reenacting an ancient evolutionary drama. You're trying to stay alive in a dangerous world by outrunning and outsmarting a bloodthirsty predator. Your whole body is in survival mode, heart racing to prepare you for fight or flight. You get that invigorating adrenaline kick, and if you escape the killer, you're rewarded with a flood of feel-good neurotransmitters, such as dopamine. Playing as a killer is different. You're immersing yourself in that same ancient scenario of predation. But now it's about catching your prey and the ecstasy of the hunt. It's that same adrenaline kick, but the reward is not the nerve-tingling relief of survival. It's the exhilarating delight of victory.
I understand
the thrill of the kill. So when you play DBD, you're satisfying a primal desire for threat simulation, for playing with fear. But you're also satisfying another primal desire, namely the desire for story. Because DBD isn't just about the hunt. It's also about exploring the rich and constantly evolving narrative world of the game. Whether you're out for survival or blood, I wish you good luck on your next journey into the fog.
This scene looks like the Dying Light. The Dying Light dev stream, when they did the release of Dying Light 2, their background is pretty similar. Dying Light 2, right? Right here.
The killer is coming, but the generator is almost complete.
The killer
A,
is coming, the
hit
generator is
the
almost
last skill check. B, run. C, let the killer grab you.
Let the killer grab you.
D,
Go give me
blow
the
up
hedge.
generator.
Easy. Dude, the fact that everyone's choosing A makes me think that we have a lot of survivors in this stream. Gen rushers? Exactly. You got it right on the nail. Ah. This looks like
Hi
a
there.
Dying Light
I'm Matt,
stream.
design director on Dead by Daylight. I work with Dave, the creative director, and the rest of the DBD game design team on everything from updating and balancing our existing content to the development of all our new chapters and game features. I'm really happy to be back with you once more for this 6th anniversary broadcast. The upcoming year is going to be a really big one for Dead by Daylight, so I'm excited to share 3 key updates that our team of talented designers have been working on. An overhaul of our killer and survivor perks, a rework of our approach to prestige and progression, and
grind
finally,
reduction.
an update on the changes to the Memento Mori system. One of the main goals for the game design team is to explore new ways that we can keep the player experience in Dead by Daylight fresh and fun for both new players entering our universe and for our highly engaged expert players with hundreds or even thousands of hours in the game. In listening to our players and reviewing our own data, we've found that some of the most consistent feedback is that in our high-level matches, meta perks have essentially taken over,
Yeah,
meaning that
hard
players are
boons.
consistently seeing the same perk loadouts again and again for every killer and every survivor.
Size strike?
Looking at our data, there's a clear gap between the most popular perks for each role.
Yep.
On the killer side, these are Corrupt Intervention, Scourge Hook Pain Resonance,
Deadman Switch.
Barbecue and Chili,
Oh.
Hex Ruin, and Pop Goes the Weasel. And for survivors, Dead Hard, Decisive Strike, Borrowed Time, Iron Will, and of course, Self-Care. With little motivation to explore different perk loadouts,
Nerf it to
this
the
can
ground.
naturally lead to a feeling of gameplay becoming stale. Therefore, in the coming months, we'll be releasing a major update that will rework
Okay.
and rebalance roughly 40 killer and survivor perks,
They're reworking
including the ones that I've
40?
just mentioned. This is aimed at eliminating these clear, dominant perk trends and
40
strategies
perks?
that we've been seeing in the game for a while.
What?
There will also be some small baseline gameplay adjustments that we would like to
That's
share
crazy.
with you a little bit closer to the release date. So, we'll keep monitoring, keep reviewing, and keep adjusting our collection of perks in this way
Nuts.
on a more regular basis to make sure that we avoid these meta perks becoming consistent trends for extended periods,
They're going to make
whilst opening up the gateway for new undiscovered metas to emerge.
all the perks around the
With
same
this upcoming
level.
focus on balance, we're also working on an
sketchy.
update to make perks easier to acquire and encourage more exploration of new combinations in perk loadouts. In an upcoming patch, we'll be releasing a rework of Dead by Daylight's prestige system, aimed at reducing the grind in the game by
Reducing
giving
the
players
grind.
more direct, quick, and easy access to perks, something that will improve the quality of life not only for our long-term dedicated players, but
New
especially
Legacy
new
Cosmetic?
players looking to get into the game.
Legacy Cosmetic for us?
Our current prestige system is optional, and it awards a bloodied version of the base cosmetic outfit, whilst resetting the perks, add-ons, and items in the character's inventory. This update will change how this works entirely. When this feature releases, prestiging a character for the first time will instantly unlock that character's Tier 1 personal perks on all other killers or survivors, making them immediately available in their loadouts. We know that our players are hoping that the RNG gods provide them with barbecue and chili in their early blood webs. However, with this feature, you simply prestige the cannibal to prestige level 1, 2, or 3 to unlock all of Leatherface's perks at the corresponding tier for every
Oh.
other killer. This will significantly reduce the grind and completely eliminate the random chance needed to acquire specific
I
teachable
see.
perks through the blood web system.
That's kind of nuts.
Of course, it's worth mentioning the prestige level won't be capped at just 3, so you'll be able to show your dedication to a particular character by raising them well beyond that.
Don't get rid of add-ons.
Additionally, the act of prestiging will not remove their perks, items, or add-ons.
Okay, we get to keep
So
our
there's no
5,000
longer
unison
an
heads.
associated reset of the character, if you will. For those who haven't yet prestiged their characters, we're also working on a fair way to still reward players for their time investment
Alright,
and
fuck
dedication
yeah, let's
once this
go.
update takes effect.
That's good.
Fans can expect both the prestige and perk updates
There's more
to drop
reason to
around
play.
the same time
Prestige
during a major
over
release
200.
this summer. Finally, I would like to close things out with some news on the Mori updates that we shared last year. While it's still coming, we have slightly adjusted our approach to the system based on research, feedback, and prototyping iteration. We've arrived at something that feels more straightforward, yet still accomplishes the same goals that we set out with. The change to the system will still remove the Mori ability from offerings, focusing instead on rewarding efficient killer play, but we'll be incorporating the Mori animation as more of a natural ending to the match.
Really?
This is something that we're currently calling the finisher Mori.
So it's going to become part of gameplay.
When a killer downs the last survivor standing, rather than drawing things out and having them pick up and hook the survivor, we'll instead transition immediately and automatically to the killer's Mori animation,
Oh, shit.
allowing them to close things out in style, and in a way that you would
you can't get held
expect from
hostage
an
anymore.
unstoppable killing machine.
Wait. Right?
There's also a few other
If you down the
additional
la-
changes coming with this system that we're not quite ready to share
No
yet.
more hatch giving either.
But we're hoping to release the new Mori system
can't. Oh,
as
okay.
part of our Halloween
Never mind.
update this year. So look out for that. While we couldn't cover all of the details of these updates in the span of one segment,
What happened to the hatch,
anyone
though?
looking for more information
Wait,
can
no.
head over to our website,
they downed them.
deadbydaylight.com, following the broadcast. Thank you as always for the support. We can't wait to get these updates into your hands as soon as possible to see your amazing reactions. Thanks again, and see you in the fog.
Okay. I think that's kind of interesting.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Macmillan Estate for Dead by Daylight's 6th anniversary. I'm Justin, one of the senior product managers on the game.
And I'm Aurélie, producer on Dead by Daylight. And what a cool set we're on today.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I heard there's some traps around, but we'll be a little careful.
Justin?
Yeah, we'll try.
So last year, Aurélie and I were here with all of you just to talk about the pillars for the year. But I think some other guys on the team have that covered. So this year, we're here to talk about the quality of life updates that are coming to the game for Year 7. And now, while it's always our goal to give you the most accurate picture of what's coming and when, the reality is that deadlines can shift as well as priorities. And we live in a pretty weird world these days, so there's a lot of external factors as well. So, I mean, that all being said, we are going to work to have the most open dialogue with our players. So if something changes, you can bet us, other members on the team, we are going to be communicating and let you know if something shifts, changes, removes, added, really at all. We're going to make sure that you guys know about it.
Stream.
That being said, let's get to it.
Year 6 for DBD.
Yes, and that's really cool because today when you will open the PTB, the first thing that you will notice
The
is
PTB
this
today.
new vertical layout that we have. The idea behind this
Wait,
is
it's
we're
today.
running out of space with the current one, and we wanted to add more clarity and also make some information way more visible to players.
I don't really mind it.
Like, for example,
like it.
some text in some languages, they will have more space, but also when we have an event or something happening in the game, now you will be able to see right away when you enter in the game what is happening and how long it will take. You won't have to go through different screens, navigate through the game to get access to this
I don't mind it.
information.
I
So I
think it
think if
looks
I can kind of nail down something cool for everybody is that I don't have to go into the archives to see how long is left in the Rift.
Correct.
But I'll see it right on the main menu.
It does look
Correct.
like mobile,
you will have
though.
the exact timer, how long it will take until the end of the
I
rift.
like it, yeah.
And
I like
that's
it too.
part
It's
of
fine.
what will make just the navigation easier and the information easier to find in Dead by Daylight. Another feature that will be also available today for the PTB, and I think that one will be really appreciated.
I think so. I think this one is one of those that players have been asking for quite some time.
That's true. So that's the preset loadout. In the loadout screen now, you will be able to have different saves, up to 3 for the moment, for
Per
your
character.
offering, perks, add-on,
Per character?
items. So you will be able to adapt your playstyle according to what you want to play.
Oh,
Exactly. So I mean, if you guys want to create one loadout
Per
for
character.
goofy perks, one for playing by yourself, one for playing as a team, you just change those with the press of a button. No longer are you looking through, this whole inventory of perks that we have.
Correct?
That's
It
actually not
will be your
bad.
choice to
That's really
decide
nice.
between hardcore and casual games. Something else, you'll be also
What
able
else?
to save loadouts for your cosmetics. So if you have different style and you're always like wondering which one to use, well, now it will be extremely useful, easy for you to switch between them.
okay.
And for both the main menu and the preset loadout, we really think that the two feature, they will bring more comfort and ease for the player. And we are really looking into feedback. So please, when you grab the PTB today, share your feedback about these two improvements. This will help you to create the best quality of life improvement in the future as well for you.
Hope that
But that's for today.
Three
So
loadouts
what
per
is
character.
happening for the next upcoming releases?
Right. So for that, we've got some other upcoming features to share with everybody out there. So one of the main ones that we actually announced last year, as you remember, I think we were both there, was matchmaking incentives. So what we mean when we're talking about this is when players are matchmaking, we try to establish a good ratio of 4 survivors to 1 killer. And whether or not this ratio is imbalanced one way or another depends on your server, depends on your time of day. So what we are doing is we are providing players with extra blood points to play as the role that is most
Yeah.
needed on their server, at that time of day when they're online, which I think is going to be
to help mitigate the wait
pretty
times
useful
that
for our
people have.
players.
Correct. And with the new layout
As well,
that we just
which is not
mentioned,
bad.
like it will be really easy for the player to see in front, like on which queue they should go if they want to have the less waiting time.
Exactly. As soon as you log in, you're going to know which role needs you the most. So if you're there for BP or if you're there just to have fun with your friends, I mean, really, we're giving you so many more options. I think it's
That's a good
gonna be
change,
a great
yeah.
experience once this is introduced.
So some people wait like 10
Not
minutes.
even that, but
Or like 20 minutes.
while you're in this matchmaking,
sometimes.
trying to get that
So
incentive,
it's really good.
we are
good.
doing what we're calling a game flow refactor. Very techie name, I know, but if we break it down, it's really giving you guys the opportunity to navigate around the game while you're waiting in the queue. So when
Okay.
you're waiting in matchmaking, your friends
You get to
alone,
run around a map, I'm
what
guessing,
have
right?
you, you'll now be able to browse the store, check
Oh.
out some really cool outfits, some other areas of game, and even
Oh,
check out
okay.
the archives. So if you want to change your challenges or read some lore while you're waiting, that's all up to you.
Yeah, and I really love this feature because it feels like not a big change, but actually it will just bring so much comfort and remove so much frustration that I really like the fact that the navigation will be easy and you won't have any, it will be more comfortable for you to
Exactly.
navigate.
And so now we're already making it more accessible to get to the archives for players by doing this, by putting the timer for the Rift on the main menu. But
Okay.
we're also doing some more updates to the archives coming later this year. So 2 of the main changes that I think players will appreciate right off the bat is now you can have 1 survivor active challenge
Oh my
and a
God.
killer active challenge.
That's actually really
no
nice.
switching back and forth or anything crazy
Yeah.
like this. No
This is a pain in the
starting a
ass to
killer
do.
match while having a survivor challenge equipped and feeling like you've wasted your time.
Actually, it will
Exactly.
be super cool because with the matchmaking incentive you just mentioned before, well, if you see that the survivor queue is
That's nice, yeah.
better
It's nice
for the
to have.
moment, and you have a killer challenge on, you won't have to go back to the archive, switch the challenge just because you want to go to the survivor queue and lose time.
But you could queue, and then you could change it, because now we let you. And so what would happen is as you find a match, we'll give you a notification full screen that you finished whatever you're doing, and then bring you into the match. So I think that's going to be a very fun experience for players. But getting ahead of ourselves. One of our other big features that we're updating in the archives is your ability to view a full outfit within the Rift. So, I think we've both visited the Rift page quite a bit now that it's been out for a while.
You usually can only
So
see
now,
one
if a player
cosmetic at a
selects
time.
piece of a cosmetic from an outfit in that Rift, there's going to be an available button to click to view the full outfit as a preview. So if you're not keeping up to date with our amazing marketing trailers that are showing off all of these cool renders, you can view it from directly in the game. and then go watch the marketing trailer after, because they do a lot of work on these and they're very cool. Well, we're obviously trying to get a lot of these changes out for this fall in one of our upcoming archives releases, alongside some other yet-to-be unannounced archive stuff, which we're keeping a little hush-hush now. But it's the 3rd anniversary of the archives, so we're trying to put something really special together for you guys. But we've got another big feature in the works, and I think I'll let you spill the beans on this one.
Yes, and this one, I think, our player, you are going to love it. So we have decided, do you remember last year when we talked about bots?
Not at all.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will do. So when we talk about bots, actually this year, by the end of the year, we really want to introduce bots in custom matches.
Oh, I thought they talked about something
so
else.
the idea here is we want to give the player, like if you're missing a friend in a group, if you don't have any friends at all, or if you just want to play chill and play try to learn a new killer, well, you will be able to do that in a custom match and just fill out the matches with bots. So that will be extremely simpler for you to play. And we feel like for some player it could be intimidating to play a new killer.
Yeah, that's nice.
Or to just learn a new one. And this will actually be a safe environment for them to try and remove the pressure that you can have sometime when you're in a real match.
For sure. And I mean, it's not just learning a new killer that can be stressful sometimes, but new maps as well, because the layouts can be entirely different. There's some new loops that you need to learn. So it's a great way for players to be able to practice those as well. You know, use an old killer, use old survivors as bots, and just try out whatever map you want.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And this feature is probably the longest one for timeline, and we're targeting this winter for this one to be out. And
this winter.
I'm super excited for this one.
I am too.
I'm a bad killer, so I'm looking forward to it.
And I think you still have 2 features that you would like to talk about.
I'm not sure
today.
that they're going to do
these ones are a bit smaller, but I think
just
our
for
players
practice.
and streamers will also be interested on both of these. So the first one I'll discuss is what we're calling streamer mode or anonymous mode. Still undecided, still in development, so the name may change.
I'm hoping this helps
but
with
the basic
hackers
premise of
sniping
this
and
is to make
stuff.
sure that all of our players feel safe as they're playing the game, so that we're obscuring your name or the name of your friends as they're playing, so that no toxic players or ne'er-do-wells inside or outside the game can find it and target you in some way.
So people can't snipe you,
For
right?
the security, that's
For
a
sure.
huge plus as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just want our
Makes it
players to feel safe as they're playing our game.
Easy
and
to choose.
we hope that this is a great tool to actually let them do it. Now, the other feature is, I guess, all about the survivors not feeling so safe, which is our updated wiggle system. So if you've been paying attention to Dead by Daylight, I know we have, talking to you, for the past few months, we've been testing out our updated system under our beta tab, so players were able to opt in and try it out. So whereas previously
Her
the
feet's on
wiggle
fire.
system was mashing 2 buttons back and forth, keyboard controller, whatever you chose.
Someone help her.
Now it's instead a skill check. So during the beta, we were all listening to a lot of our player feedback. So our design team has really taken that into account. And with those changes, we're going to make it a permanent feature in the future.
And on behalf of the team, really thank you for using the beta tabs. It was really, really useful for us to collect all this information and to see how you feel about new changes that we just want to make sure that all the changes that we introduce in the game are the correct ones.
Yeah, I mean, I know we all love the PTB, being able to try out new content, but this let us really bring in all of our console players who have been asking for when, all of their input, especially given that it was very controller heavy, is really appreciated.
And sometimes we just need more time also to get the feedback.
It certainly helps. So with all of these, we also have some other smaller features that we weren't really able to fit in here. So head on over to our website at deadbydaylight.com to read a bit more after the segment.
And
We'll
we
actually check.
really hope you're excited about all the features that we announced today. I know we are, and we expect that you will enjoy this anniversary with us. And we hope you a very good Dead by Daylight experience here.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the broadcast, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
My
Build a
name's
Dead Hard
Jason.
rework?
I'm a fog whisperer. And to me, Dead by Daylight is more than just a game. It's a lifestyle. I'm heading to a parkour gym to work with professional tag athletes. I want to learn how I can apply my DBD skills in real life.
Do you ever just
Oh,
crouch
this
at
is
the
sick,
chaser to
actually.
get them angry?
by the way.
World Chase Tag is a team-on-team competition where one team
This is
throws
actually
in a
kind of
chaser,
sick.
one team throws in an invader.
They actually
One
chase
rule
each other
is don't get
in real
caught.
life. It's kind of cool. Get filler.
So in chase tag, are you using vaulting? Because in DBD, when I'm being chased, vaulting is a pretty powerful evasion tool.
Yeah, vaulting gives you a very easy way of getting an obstacle in between you or whoever's chasing you.
So what about slow vaults?
What?
To see my full training adventure, head to the Dead by Daylight YouTube page later this week.
I think that's Fog Whisperer compilation. We still haven't gotten a bingo yet. But I hit a lot of these on this list. Merch that shows off how much you hate yourself.
The killer is in pursuit. What do you do?
Nerd.
A. Drop the pallet. B. Use dead hard. C. Loop forever. Or D. Crouch furiously.
Yeah, D. That's a D for me. Dude, we not only have gen rushers, we have crazy loopers as well. Yeah. People are sweaty. Sweaty survivors. Very sweaty.
Hello everyone, I'm Joe Ashley, the associate producer on Dead by Daylight. I'm joined by Xavier, our director, and also Rose, our project manager. A big part of what makes Dead by Daylight so great are the characters. And telling the stories is one of the best part of our job. While a lot of storytelling is happened through lore, there's also a way for us to tell the story through the art and the visual. Today, we want to share with you a bit about the process of the collection that inspires us. We want to break some news about new announcement of a brand new collection we've been anxious to share with you guys for a while.
Yes, thank you, Josh. Well, let's take a moment to talk about like what's behind the several outfits and collection we provide to players during the year. So
Speaks the language of the
artistically, the approach is different when we work on our own contents and when we work with licenses. When we do our own, we often look this as a way to put our own spin to icons and events everybody's familiar with. A great example is the Halo Blight collection. It's really our take on Halloween. You know, rather than creating cosmetics around traditional vampires, witches, werewolves, we decided to do something more unique, to tell a unique story, and we have like our killers. We made them more horrific due to a substance linked to the entity. The result, I think, is unexpected, more original. The lore and art direction have been reinforced at the same time, and we get to celebrate Halloween in a way that's very true to Dead by Daylight.
So on my side, the product goal is to create collections like this for all seasons.
This is the art
These
team.
collections would be something that we could return to and add to every
Are these
year,
the crazy art
but
team?
on our own terms, in a way that's creative for Xavier, but also not feeling like too generic or too easy.
Maybe Joash, you could share with us the different steps on the production to create these visuals.
Oh, these are the art team gods.
Rose got a good idea of what the type of collection that she wants.
No.
So afterward, I think the first step is to talk to the narrative team. The idea behind it is to make sure that we have a good idea and make sure also like it's kind of related to the character. So the cosmetic that we want is related to the character, the story background, and the lore. Afterward, we need to talk to the concept artists. They're the one who are going to put on paper pretty much with the art director and the concept art to put on paper pretty much the idea that we want as cosmetics. So, And also, this is the time for us to put in detail what we want. So meaning like the accessories, the detail, and the type of material that we want. Once we're done, the character team can use those concepts to start their modeling phase. So pretty much to have the 3D model ready.
Mm-hmm. So in the case of the Fire Moon Festival, we created this in tribute to the Mid-Autumn Festival that is celebrated in so many Asian countries. And it is our own DBD-specific event that boasts like concerts and celebrations that are surrounding the full Fire Moon. And it's a celebration of life and also a reflection upon death. Yeah. So another part of creating this event ourselves was to be able to include a wider variety of characters into the collection. So, for example, those that didn't have an Asian heritage.
We should talk also about licenses, because today, right now, we have something really important to share with the fans. Right, Rose?
Yeah, indeed. So another interesting part of working on these collections is being able to work with existing licenses as well. So we're able to introduce new stories and other brands that we love also into the world of Dead by Daylight. Speaking of which, anime and mangas are widely requested from our fans around the world. And we're really excited to be able to announce today a new collection that's right around the corner, one that marks DBD's first major crossover with an anime title. So without further ado...
Nah, I don't think so. AoT! AoT! Wait, actually...
So many of us on Dead by Daylight team are big fan of anime, especially Attack on Titan. The process of creating new outfit based on the new collection based on Dead by Daylight has been really,
You're going to have a Titan
exciting.
in Dead by Daylight?
We're thrilled to be including 10 different outfits for both survivors and killers. And also, we need to say some surprise for later on. I think we can still give some glimpse of the concept art for Attack on Titan.
You don't need slow mode. You don't need slow mode on that.
Working on Attack on Titan was a great challenge, but really exciting one. First, we had to assimilate like the iconic aspect of the 2D art direction from the show and adapt it on 3D, making sure like the characters remain themselves even if applied on DBD characters. And because they are not legendary outfits, the goal was not to reskin them and transform them into something way too different from our more realistic art direction. So we then came with bigger eyes, etc. We felt it more like, okay, we could create like great cosplay of this character. Our mindset was more, what if our DBD characters were part of the Attack on Titan universe? And from who are they closer in their personalities and appearances?
Who are they going to add?
So it was really important for us to select some of our favorite characters from Attack on Titan, and so we could focus on some aspect of each to match our DBD personalities. We have Eren, one of the heroes of the show, and we have Dwight. Dwight,
that's
in a
crazy.
sense,
They
is
got
one of
Attack
our
on Titan.
heroes also on DBD. He's here since years, and we kept the details of Dwight, like having the iconic glasses, the messy hair, and even with the equipment
like
of Attack on Titan, we made sure like the equipment isn't straight, and we have like nothing's perfect.
Eren and Dwight had a baby.
We have.
They had a baby.
For her, it was easier because we have Zarina also, and it was a perfect match. She's a scientist that investigates on Titans.
This seems clean, though.
With Zarina, like they are both very inquisitive investigators.
This one looks clean.
Well.
That's okay.
We kept the details of Zarina herself. We gave her an eye patch, but not the glasses because she doesn't wear glasses.
Zarina looks clean.
Armor Titan. Is there, you know, we have it as an ultra rare cosmetic for the Oni. And not only was it a good match because we apply this
actually kind of sick.
One of our largest killers of the game, but also we were able to use his crystal form for the rage mode. And while the base of the crystals are blue in the show, we tinge them with a red VFX.
Wait, this is in the
PTB? The traditional Oni
the PTB
for the game.
That's it for us. we hope you enjoyed the behind the loop scene and also our new collection that we just showed you. Of course, we're going to keep an eye for more Attack on Titan news. Thank you.
心臓を捧げよう。
That's kind of cool. They got an Attack on Titan one. You play on the PTP day? Yeah, of course. This is the new character. It was real. Kind of like Phasmophobia a little bit. Is he? The Dredge. Bingo time.
Hi everyone, I'm Dave Richard, Creative Director on Dead by Daylight, and I'm super glad to be here today to share the newest content for our latest chapter.
Let's go.
And of course to celebrate the 6th anniversary of Dead by Daylight. The tradition is to tell you all the content that's going to be in the chapter. And this time we're quite excited. We're changing the recipe a little bit, and we're doing
Jump
another
scare
new
killer.
chapter. So this new chapter is called Roots of Dread, and it's a full chapter. It contains a new survivor, a new killer, and a new map within a new realm of the entity. That's
This is
quite
all
exciting.
in the PTB, everything.
So the story for the chapter revolves around a town, a perfect town. Well, a town that seems to be perfect. But of course, the residents are hiding something terrible. They're hiding secrets and a darkness. And when that darkness starts to bubble up to the surface, it creates our newest killer, the Dredge. So let's talk about it a little bit. So the Dredge is inspired by the Boogeyman, a story that is global and is known around many cultures. It's a domestic fear. It's a monster that is really close to us.
It looks
that is in
it looks
our
kind of
familiar environment, inside our house, under our
okay.
bed, in our wardrobes. And that's the
SCP,
type
yeah.
of creature we wanted to feature and create. So it is the physical representation of the darkness of the whole town, of their secrets. And it is a weird and strange creature, a monster. It has an impossible biology featuring various limbs, heads, different parts. It is emotionless, and it's impossible to plead for your life when in front of this creature. We wanted to make sure to create a visceral scare when facing this creature. It's a bit like when you're having a nightmare, and you know it was super scary when you wake up, but you can't exactly put your finger on what it was that you've seen. The visual design of the Dredge is quite unique. It's a first for Dead by Daylight killers. It's a monster recreated by different limbs, different
Kind of like
heads,
the Demogorgon.
claws, pincers, tentacles, and we wanted to make sure that you, the player, would be able to customize as you wanted this monster. What's really cool as well for the cosmetic is that we are able to explore themes that are organic, but also constructs, like this amazing cosmetic that features dolls. All right, now let's move on to the power of the Dredge. So when playing the Dredge, we wanted you to feel like you're the embodiment of darkness, of fear itself. We wanted to recreate that feeling of a monster that's really close to us, that lives in your house. And so there are two phases to the power. The first phase is the ability to use lockers to teleport from and to. So, of course, this is great for map movement. You'll be able to
like
travel the map really quickly.
A little bit.
But it's also great to surprise survivors that are nearby lockers, and even survivors that are hiding inside the lockers. The second phase of the power is called Night Cycle, and this is where it gets really interesting. So based on action the Dredge will make and some passive abilities, the Night Cycle will build on the survivor. When it is finally completed, Night Cycle will trigger, and a darkness will engulf the survivor. This darkness makes it very difficult to navigate, especially in chases. And the only thing the survivor can see in the distance will be the dredge itself. That's really creepy and will for sure make the survivor make mistakes. Of course, the dredge comes with 3 unique perks. We won't go into the details of these perks today, but I can say that they are themed around chaos, secrets, and corruption. Okay, now let's move on to our newest survivor.
Interesting, yeah.
She's called Haddie Kaur.
Kind of like a jump
and
scare
you might
killer,
know
in my
her
opinion.
from some archive entry that appeared in the past. She appeared 3 times in the archive, actually. So Haddie has a dual heritage. She is born in northern India, but was raised by her adoptive family in Quebec. And so this will be an interesting background to explore through her different cosmetic and also through future archive entries. Haddie has a very unique ability to see bleeds. These are areas of the world where the entity's influence intersect with our world. And so Haddie had her share of paranormal adventures and encounters with dreadful beasts from the entity's world, strange creature. And actually, we can see on her body all sort of scratch and marks from these encounters. Of course, Haddie will come with 3 unique perks added to the roster of abilities that the survivors are able to equip and use. These are themed around paranormal insight, proficiency with occult items, and her own temerity. And finally, let's talk about the map.
It looked like Thompson's
So this
house,
time around,
right?
we're really excited to introduce a new realm for this chapter. So really, we are going back to the roots of horror, to a classic, something that we see numerous times into different horror novels, movies, and other horror material. And this is a small American town. So we wanted to make sure that we created something domestic, something familiar. And so for the Dredge map
2.0.
called the Garden of Joy, we are featuring one of the house of the perfect town that we talked about earlier. This house looks perfect from the outside. It is like a ghost sitting in the middle of a gloomy forest created by the entity. And when you go inside that house, you'll see how twisted and wrong it is, just like the residents that are hiding all of this darkness in secret. What's really cool about this new realm is that in the future, we will be able to explore it again, but in other contexts than in the Dredge perfect town. So this realm is built from different memories, from different characters. And so we'll be able to explore different cities wrapped inside that same realm. All right, that was the whole content of our newest chapter, Roots of Dread. I hope you are as excited as us to try this new content. And you'll be able to do so right after this event as we go live on the PTB. The chapter will become available to all on June 7th. So thank you again for listening today.
That's really close.
And thank you for an incredible year of Dead by Daylight.
June 7th. I wonder if the new map is going to be like
hey, what's up, y'all? This is
designed
Dr.
kind of like
Tyler
Haddonfield.
Brown, emergency position.
A little bit.
And this is Dead by Daylight.
Like a really well-designed map, in my opinion. Hopefully. New realm, basically. It's basically a new realm where they could do whatever they want with it.
Oh,
I think.
Now that's actually kind of dope. It looks like he was injured or something, and
Like
she
chaotic
came
and
through
such.
and rubbed this man's back. If we could start prescribing back rubs in the emergency department, I promise you, I would let the thing fly. Everybody, you get a back rub. You get a back rub. Straight up on some, Oprah level stuff. It's actually funny because there is evidence that back rubs help. They help physiologically. People say that it lowers heart rate, lowers blood pressure. Curative back rub for everybody, all right? Let's get it popping.
Reacting on the reactor. Okay.
Yo, I've seen it. All in your back. Wait a minute, bro. Oh, dude, no. Wait a minute. All right. All right.
Thanks,
I had
Pickle.
to pause.
Dude,
One, this man got thrown on a hook, and I've seen this in a bunch of different movies, so it's really accurate. You know, these like butcher hooks are real. Obviously, if someone ended up on one, it was intentional, in my opinion. From that angle, I'm pretty sure it's piercing, you know, one of the ventricles of the heart, right? So the heart, we know it's like this, right? That left ventricle is kind of posterior and it sits to the side as if I took a football and held it,
ER
you know,
specialist
with the laces
to
kinda
react on
downward,
Dead
right?
by Daylight.
So if that goes through that left ventricle, man, he's dead. There ain't no pulling yourself up off of it. Either no, sir.
What is
I
this?
don't believe
He's
it.
an ER specialist.
He's not walking away from this at all. That's a fact. If you're enjoying this analysis, make sure you head over to Dead by Daylight's YouTube channel for the full video later on this week, okay? Happy 6th anniversary, y'all. Peace.
That's kind of different. I feel like we just watched a React video. ER specialist reacts to Dead by Daylight. Oh, there was footage. There was footage.
You see a lit hex totem. What do? A, disassemble it. B, leave it be. Probably haunted ground. C, turn it into a boon totem.
ER
D,
specialist
point at it,
confirms
but let
DBD's
your
fake.
teammates deal with it.
Where's the jiggle physics announcement? Where's my jiggle physics announcement? Booba has no jiggle physics. Booba is a lie. Dude, there's so many sweaty gamers voting for the most serious one every time. D is the most fun one, yeah.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Justin, one of the product managers on Dead by Daylight. Still stuck in this fog from earlier, but this time joined by a new partner.
Hi, I'm May. I am a Twitch-lurking, dog-snuggling influencer manager on Dead by Daylight.
So, since a Dead by Daylight anniversary wouldn't be the same without a celebration in the fog, both May and myself are here to share with you what's going on for the Dead by Daylight 6th anniversary in-game event. So, last year we had a really fun one, but the team has taken a hard look at what worked and what didn't, and we're trying to find ways to take it even further for the 6th anniversary, which is actually starting on our real anniversary this year. So the event
the 16th,
starts
yeah,
on June 16th. I think it's really cool. So for the theme this year, the Fog is going to be celebrating something called the Twisted Masquerade. Now, this is meant to be a real party in the world of Dead by Daylight that's being hosted in the entity's name by someone lurking in the shadows, I've heard.
Everyone loves a masquerade, so we've really tried to run with the theme and taken our decorations to the
Huntress
next
Cosmetics
level.
are all masquerade
As you might have
masks.
already noticed
All the
in this
best ones.
broadcast, we've added this gorgeous midnight blue to our usual black and gold color palette, and you'll see it all over the entity's realm during this event. We're also reskinning the Killer Shack and the exit gates, and there's going to be some really cool, creepy effects because of it. Expect the entire fog to be decked out to the nines.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that we're decorating for really the first time, like proving just how big this whole celebration really is. We really want this to feel like a party and a celebration. So everything is really going to play on this masquerade theme in some interesting ways, beginning with our anniversary cosmetics. So last year was the second year that we actually did the crown collection, where mechanic-wise, players would run around, find pedestals, and collect a crown for that specific character.
Everyone gets a mask.
This year, with this masquerade theme, we wanted to find ways that we could really push it further and deliver an even bigger payoff when it came to the cosmetics that you'd be able to collect.
So while you'll still be hunting down pedestals in your trial, this time you're going to be grabbing invitations to the Twisted Masquerade. Collecting those invitations will earn you one of 12 possible cosmetics as killer or survivor, and since we're going to a masquerade, it's going to be beautiful hand-designed masks. Last year, while you could earn cosmetics for every single original character, it was the same crown for each and every one of them. We feel like that's run its course, and we wanted to do something a little more special this year. This year, we're focusing on one original survivor and one killer for every year of Dead by Daylight. The mask you earn will only be wearable for that specific character because it's tailor-made to suit their personality and style. The masks are also going to be earned randomly, so even if you're playing as Dwight, you might earn one for Elodie or the Spirit.
And I mean, if you guys have actually seen it on the table, that's Dwight.
So while we are focusing on a smaller subset of characters, they're going to make much more meaningful additions to your collection and look pretty sweet if I do say so myself.
Absolutely. I mean, I've had to resist just putting this one on and trying to run away with it. Been told many times I can't take it home with me, so I'll have to settle for just earning it
really good
in-game.
DVD. That's why the Huntress
And similar
cosmetics
to what
look
we
good.
did for our Halloween event, the Midnight Grove, the 6th anniversary will also include an event tome. So what's great about this is we're going to have 2 full levels of challenges and lore that's directly tied to the Twisted Masquerade. And one big addition in this is going to be the community challenges. So last year, if you were around doing our community challenges, we were communicating on this via our social media channels. And we feel like the players really enjoyed this, but we want to bring it a little closer to you directly in-game.
There'll be an entire top track dedicated to these community challenges. On that, you can track both the global progression of everyone making effort towards these community challenges and your own direct contributions. Your own direct contributions are important because you're going to have to work and you can't just take advantage of everyone else's hard work.
Exactly, but while the players are waiting for the community to catch up so that they can go on to the next challenge, there will be a set of personal challenges below on each level that you can work towards. And I mean, these are going to also give you a little bit more background on what's happening for the story behind the scenes of the archives and of the Twisted Masquerade. I mean, you're going to be earning event cosmetics either way, so definitely take the time, try to finish all of them.
So what about Dredge and Haddie? Are they getting something for this masquerade?
So since these are actually our 2 new characters coming in, it's important that we're treating them as our guests of honor for the Twisted Masquerade. So if you're seeing from any of the content that we're sharing, both Dredge and Haddie are getting full outfits themed for the event that you can unlock split between the community goals and the personal goals.
He looks like a better
so if you want all of it, you have to do both.
And they're really worth getting, so I suggest you do. And we also have some very cool, very gross charms, like this 6th anniversary Rancid Cupcake, a pop-up card. My personal favorite, a skull with a little party hat.
And that's definitely a reminder of the last person who tried to bring a party hat into the fog.
You try and
stop he doesn't like fun. So for a few final touches on the event, we're bringing back some things from last year that worked really well, like our loading screens with developer comments and selected art. So as you're loading up into your game, you're going to see quotes from wacky folks like myself, May, and others.
Like last year.
And really bring you a bit closer to the really cool people who worked on Dead by Daylight. On top of this, we're going to be bringing back our daily discounted Shrine of Secrets. So instead of it cycling on a weekly basis, we're going to be changing all of the perks every single day and be providing you a discount.
Every
so it
day?
costs less iridescent shards for every single perk available during the event.
Oh, during the event.
On top of that, because we know you guys love blood points, we're going to be doing a weekend blood hunt event. And then, again, still not done, we're going to be giving a lot of login currencies. So if that's not enough blood points for you, not enough rift fragments, not enough iridescent shards, players will be able to earn more of these just by logging in.
It's definitely not the time to save your pennies for a rainy day. There's so much fun stuff to get. Take advantage. But for now, on behalf of everyone, I just want to say thanks again for another amazing year of Dead by Daylight. And we'll see you in the fog on June 16th for the Twisted Masquerade.
We'll see you there.
I think that's pretty sick. The new cosmetics look really, really good. DBD Mobile?
今日は暑かったでしょ。いつものビールでいい？はい。
Is China? Is Japan? I think okay.
We're very excited to share some great news about the DBD mobile game.
DBD Mobile is always
so. We had a big
And on
update
top.
in Japan at the end of April, and the results
get
are
on there.
amazing. We
It
want
changes
to
fast.
progressively release this to the rest of the world too. In the United States, there will be a closed beta test in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. You should know there's going to be quite a lot of new features in this version of the game. Leaderboards, quick matches, team system. We're also improving many aspects of the game. There's going to be visual improvements, on the performance, fluidity of gameplay, and the control layout, and the new player tutorial. Also, there's going to be some brand new rewards added and some unique customization. More news are going to be coming very soon.
I'm currently downloading it right now, by the way. Oh my god, no. Okay. Chat. Dating sim? Oh, this is the dating sim. This is the dating sim. Alright. Alright. Not bingo yet. Okay. Alright. Dating sim. We're obligated to play that, you know that, right? We're obligated.
If you had told me when we launched this game that I'd be here 6 years later with my feet in the sand announcing a Dead by Daylight dating sim, I would have never believed you. And that is what makes today such an amazing day. I'm excited to be able to announce that Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim, is quickly coming. So it is a crazy idea. It's an
Sex has been added to Dead by Daylight.
But
okay,
we are always looking for new ways to tell our Dead by Daylight stories. And our fans have shown us over the years just how thirsty they are for more background and more stories about our characters. So last year we did an official community survey exploring new ways potentially of expanding the universe of Dead by Daylight. And I think the third one was Dating Simulator. And that was a surprise, but you know what? We decided to go for it. This was a tall order. We needed to find the right people to do this justice, to really treat this properly so that it didn't turn out.
It better not be like Honey Pop.
As insane as it sounds.
Like Honey Pop.
So we decided to go with some specialists out there, some people that made a little game called I Love You, Colonel Sanders, that was very well received. And I'm very happy to have with me today Alexei from PsyOp to talk a little bit. He's the creative director for the upcoming Dead by Daylight dating sim.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited that I got to create such a unique take on such a really serious and kind of grim world and bring it into a little bit of hearts and butterflies and shine some rosy, warm light on it.
That's awesome. So yes, you're absolutely right. We created a very grim universe, and we asked you to do something extremely silly with it.
Yeah.
How does one go about making this right?
Sure. Well, I like to say that when making a project that seems as off-kilter and unexpected as this, the big gimmick for me is that there is no gimmick. It is a serious game that we take really seriously when we create it, and we treat all of the characters with a sense of humor, but with sort of deep respect as well, so that we can make a really compelling game that does justice to the expectations that fans have and the expectations that these characters would have if they were slightly more real.
It's a matter of really finding a new, interesting context in which these characters can actually express a different side of themselves.
Yeah, so the story that we're creating is very much not a canon story for the Dead by Daylight
Important
universe.
to put it out there.
Want to make sure that's clear. That being said, we want to create something that really does justice to the truths that have been established. So we started someplace as far away as we could by thinking about, what is the brightest and happiest kind of take on this world? Well, maybe it's something like the beach episode of a sitcom or an anime series.
I like how you can see their
and then kind of pull our way back into that main core experience of of what's going through these killers or survivors' minds at any given moment, and try and make sense of those two worlds playing together and see what kind of crazy stuff comes from it.
So obviously one of the main questions that people have is, what characters from Dead by Daylight will I be able to interact with in this?
What do you
Sure.
like?
Well, leaning
You're
into
like
that
dating sim.
kind of sitcom or
Look at
anime
McCote's
kind of cliches and tropes, and then kind of turning them on their head, we decided to take 4 killers, since killers are the most monstrous and inhuman characters in the world, and make them as human as we could by assigning 4 kind of typical TV trope archetypes to them. So we've got the Trapper, who is standing in as the jock. We've got the Huntress, who is standing in as the overachiever. We've got the Wraith, who is playing the nerd. And we've got the Spirit, who is the goth.
That's amazing. And it's interesting also as a take, because those sort of archetypes, those cliches from horror movies from forever ago, are things that we tried to not erase, but we tried to avoid when we did Dead by Daylight, especially on the survivor side. We had them much more be humans and relatable. So it's really interesting to see those things that are very important to the horror genre be represented in this.
Yeah, in writing the experience, it made for a really fun twist. And what we recognized when we dug as deep as we could into the lore and talked so much with your team is that all of these killers come from a really human place to begin with. They've all suffered some sort of trauma or some sort of really dark thing in their past that bringing them into this kind of comedy scenario, but still exploring their real lore, it was just like pretty wild. So we had a lot of fun with it.
Very cool. And who, as the player, like it was an interesting choice to figure out who the player would be in this scenario.
Well, we want to let the player play as themselves
when it comes out.
So
by the
this
way.
is an interactive branching story, and you will get to make decisions that define who you are. There is no canon version of yourself, and we thought that was a great way to really do justice to the huge amount of diversity and variety in the Dead by Daylight audience.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to make sure that the 4 killers who you get to romance really represent 4 very different types of relationship, and you get to be yourself and see which killer is right for you as you make honest decisions in response to some terribly strange questions.
That's awesome. A very important piece of also building that world and really giving the ambiance, the gravitas.
It's very serious, yeah.
Is the music.
They're going all out.
And you got a really cool opportunity in there.
Yeah, we worked directly with Michel, the composer for Dead by Daylight, to make sure that even though we took this to a very different sonic place of marimba and steel drums and some jazz flute solos or Spanish guitar, we still got to express that kind of core DNA of Dead by Daylight and give people something that's new and unique, but also kind of true to the original game that they love so deeply.
Yeah, Michel was kind of happy to be able to try his hand at a few different styles that he hadn't, and I think he surprised both of us with the jazz flute.
It may seem like an odd thing to say about something that sounds and looks so different, but we wanted to make sure that it really feels fresh but authentic.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here in sunny Montreal for this little beach moment. I can say that this is one of the most out there things that we've ever done, and I'm very, very excited about this. You obviously want more details. There will be more information coming, but for now you should know you'll be able to get your little hands on Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim this summer on Steam. And if you do that, you'll also get a unique charm in Dead by Daylight after that. Now, thank you again to all of our fans. Thank you for making this possible for us. And for once, I will say, I'll see you on the beach.
Look at his feet! Look at his feet! Look at his feet!
We're almost done here, but we have one more question for you. What would you like us to wrap the show with? A, some more new content? Or B, a special surprise?
I'd go. I'm choosing all the least popular ones, dude. I don't think we're getting bingo, my dudes. We don't have new crown cosmetic. It's just a masquerade. It's a mask.
Well, that's a wrap for our 6th anniversary broadcast, and to an amazing year of Dead by Daylight. I hope you enjoyed yourself. The PTB for our latest chapter, The Roots of Dread, is live now, so go try it. Have fun. Again, a huge thank you to our entire team.
What's the surprise?
And to you, our amazing community.
What's the surprise?
You know, time really flies. It seems like just yesterday that during our 5th anniversary, we revealed to you that we were going to do a Resident Evil chapter. Your reaction was so good at the time that we wondered, why stop there?
It's real. The chapter that F consoles. They're doing a rework on RCPD apparently. Going to come with a new RCP map? Yeah, probably. That art looks really good.
So well. Ew, and I stink. Oh, great, you're here to unhook me.
I just did my nails, so
This is Samination.
you can understand my situation.
Yeah, no problem, I guess. There are others, like Felix. I'd unhook you, but then I'd be sick too. Yeah, but you could cleanse after, and then we can... He's gone. Meg!
Nope.
Right.
I don't think we're getting bingo. Unless we count Trapper Mori or a new crown cosmetic. Hey Coco, yo, what's up, Scar? Jeff? Yeah, the Jeff looked pretty sick. The ones that look like 1-to-1. It's kind of cool. Alright. 16 Fang and Huntress. Okay, is Finisse? The crown counts? Okay. Okay, so we'll count the crowns, fine. The masquerade stuff, sure we got bingo. The Trapper Mori, they didn't show the Trapper Mori. I was a bit oddly specific with these, but I'm surprised. RCPD rework, nutty, right? Resident Evil, crazy. 40 different perk changes, Attack on Titan crossover, grind reduction. Wow, that's crazy. Rework to prestige, grind rework, perk rework. Oh my god, dude. I'm surprised at how much stuff they covered. That's crazy. I definitely thought they would talk about raising the blood point cap though. Maybe they are. Or the solo survivor buff changes that they were talking about. You make that? You did good? Yeah. I put all this stuff over here for stuff that I thought wouldn't happen. Like the RCPD work, talking about David, the hug attack hockey, bar time base kit, new strat. I put everything that I thought wouldn't make it on this side. On everything I thought that would make it on the right side. Made it pretty good. Did pretty good. All right, now we're gonna play the PTB.
Is that we're actively working on a major rework of the Raccoon City Police Department map that we released last year.